I've had one of those days. I'm gonna go to my office because I just got home. I go to my office and we need to talk. Don't be a young, somewhat pretty woman in business in Cameroon. Like, it's ridiculous what's happening. Anyway, let me talk to you guys in a bit. Guys, guys, how's it going? So I'm now in my office. Okay, so where should I start? Let me just come closer. Let me come closer so that I can explain to you guys the shenanigans. Okay, so the purpose of my vlogs, let me put it this way, the purpose of my vlog in Cameroon is to be able to show people, whether you're Cameroonian or African in general, or even a foreigner, somebody who is not African, um, just to give them a glimpse of my life, as somebody who is maneuvering entrepreneurship in Africa, and some of the challenges and some of the good things, not just the bad, you have the good, the bad, and the ugly. And my channel was supposed to be that, or is that, right? Is showing you what I go through. Because I think at some point I got tired of telling people, this is what I do. And people were like, but how do you do it? How do you do it? I don't like, we don't see what you do. It's like many people see entrepreneurs on social media and they just have no clue what they do. All they see is people traveling left and right, living the best life. And I did not want to be that person, right? I was like, you know what? I'm going to be transparent to a certain extent and show people what I'm about, what I do. And that is the reason why, this channel was born. I mean, it's a lie. It was born for a different reason. Now, fast forward 4 years, okay? 4 years since I made the move back to Africa, even though I'm still, doing the back and forth thing. Now, what is currently going on is just mind blowing. I've been going through a lot. Like, you guys know, I've been here for a couple of months since I left, because last time I was here was December to February. And then I left, and then I went to the US, and then I came back again July. So I've been here since July. You guys are probably going to watch this in November. Just know that we end of October as I'm talking to you, right? So the last couple of months have been really tough, and I don't know what happened. I just think sometimes we live in a society where the bigger you grow, or maybe it's even all societies, not just Cameroon, right? But the bigger you grow as a business person, like your company is growing bigger and bigger, the more challenges you're going to have to encounter, and the more people are going to sue you, the more people are going to be like, hey, this person is not doing this and that. And then you also have disgruntled employees who, whenever they leave, they can just knock on the right door and then put us, guys, there's so many things happening whenever you fire somebody. Even though you were right to fire the person can still make up lies about how the business runs, right? And then we had that. I think last year I told you, I think it was last year, I think last January, February, I kind of, talked to you guys about how we fired as a team. I mean, the office, my head teacher, whatever, we fired somebody, right? And then that just, I mean, guys, it went from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. That man knocked on all the doors he could knock on in order to put the school down, but it just didn't work, right? Because wherever he was going, I mean, we didn't have anything to hide. And at the end of the day, the people just told us, maybe if you give him something, like you pay him off or whatever, maybe he will stop doing the nonsense. But we didn't do that, okay? And then some of our kids, in the exam classes, so you're looking at CM2, we have a nursery and primary school, kindergarten and elementary. So kids in class 6, right? This is the Anglophone system because we have both section, Anglophone, Francophone, because it's bilingual school. Kid in class 6 and then CM2, that teacher that we had fired tried to make our children fail the exam. I don't know if I even shared that with you guys, but there was a series of things that happened right after we fired him. Now, why am I telling you this? Because there's always disgruntled employees. So in the beginning of the school year, I fired another teacher, okay, who was there with us last year, and I fired him in the beginning of the school year just because some major thing happened. And I knew that was going to be another concern. Don't ever expect an employee to be happy that they got fired. Nobody's happy to get fired. But some of the people that you hire, they're just not good people. And one thing that I've learned is that you have to hire fast, right? Do your due diligence, but hire fast and fire faster. And I'm so unapologetic when it comes to that, because there's no way I'm going to let my business sink into a hole because I have bad people on staff, right? So anyway, that happened. I forgot about it, talked to him, gave him like a severance pay, whatever, the whole thing was done. Okay. Now there's an inspection that stopped by. It wasn't even an inspection, it was an investigation that happened, and it's still happening. As I'm talking to you guys, it's still happening. Like, so many things have been happening. There's a video that I need to talk to you. I need to make that video because I want to talk to you guys about what is happening and how, as an entrepreneur, it's really annoying because you spend so many years and planning the whole project, right? And then you make it happen. And then you start seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and then everything just starts coming downhill. Okay. Like everything, guys, at this point, I don't even know what to do. The reason why I started this video by saying being a young, somewhat beautiful woman, or maybe let me just say being a young, beautiful woman in business is an hindrance to your success. And when it comes to Cameroon, the environment is really patriarchal. Okay. So whenever people, and I think I've talked about it on so many occasions and whatever, but whenever people see me, like whenever they're like, oh, who is the founder? Who's the CEO? Who is the person in charge? Who is the, and then I'm like, the girl with the blonde hair and then curly hair and all of this, like I show up, people are always like, just a little bit confused, right? Maybe they expected me to have a boutique. They didn't expect me to manage a school. They didn't expect me to build an apartment complex. They didn't expect me. Like, I don't know. I just do not know why it's always that look that people give you, because they're like, how can she? How can she? And that part alone is not even the problem. The part that is the problem is the fact that some men feel like they can hit on you. Let me put it that way. Okay. They can hit on you. They can invite you to dinner, even when this is supposed to be business. Okay. They can still invite you to dinners. They can try, to hit on you. And when you say no, or you just decline the offer, guys, you can't even imagine what's currently happening. Like, it's crazy. An investigation that started as simple as it was, and then I was able to actually tell them, this person, blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Fast forward a couple days later, I'm getting phone calls left and right from the same, investigator, whatever, about certain things. Like, can we meet over, food, over a drink? Can we go to a restaurant and talk? Why are you a single woman? Blah, blah, blah. One of the reasons why he knew I was a single woman is because when he wrote down my name, he asked if that was my maiden name or my married name, right? And I said, that's my maiden name. And then he was like, oh, there's no husband. I said, no. Right? Like, confidently, because there's no shame in that. Okay. I'm confident about being single. Like, I'm living through my single woman era, and I love it. Like, guys, I love it. I just don't understand why this man felt maybe hurt, like, to the point where now the issue that was supposed to be just small has risen, and now it's becoming something else, right? And I'm getting an assessment of, oh, you're gonna have to pay penalties, blah blah blah, just that, making up some numbers in millions. And I'm like, for what? So at this point, I'm so angry. So I was talking to my office staff, right? My head teacher, my head mistress, the accountant. I had a meeting with them after that meeting that I had this morning, and all of them agreed with me that, Madam, don't you see what's happening? This man probably he wants to take you out, and you are refusing. Keep in mind, hopefully the mic is still working. Keep in mind that the man is married, and I'm allergic to married men. Even though even though I want to be on a date, I want to go on a date, I don't want to go on a date with a married man. For what? Like, for what? It's not like I'm even craving to go on a date. It's not even like I want to be on a date. I'm desperate to be on a date. Like, there are some women who are not that interested in marriage. If it happens, yay. If it doesn't happen, you know what? We missed the boat. Like, we missed the memo or something. But life keeps on moving on, And I just don't understand why some men feel like because they invited you somewhere, because they were trying to take you out on a date, because, and then how dare you say no to them? And then now it becomes an entire thing. And I don't even know. I can't even tell you if that is the main issue, but from last week that we had the first meeting to this week, everything just shifted. And the only thing that happened is the fact that he kept on asking and asking and asking. And I said, I just want to have a business relationship. I mean, when I say business relationship, like, let's do what we're supposed to do. I'm all about work. Now, this morning, my office staff, other office staff, I'm not going to tell you who, he said when the men showed up, right? He started talking, small talk that you have man to man. He was basically saying, I can't believe your boss is so pretty, like that woman is pretty. She's really beautiful. I can't believe she's single, blah, 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 blah. So that man, that is the investigator of whatever, guys, I don't want to tell you exactly which branch of the government or whatever. Like, I don't want to go into the details, but the conversation with him started like that. And then my staff was where is this man? Like, where are you going with that conversation? But he was trying to make small talk, talking about, I'm a beautiful woman. He doesn't understand why I'm single, blah, 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 blah. And then like 30 minutes later, when I showed up, we had that meeting. That's when the guy just started pulling numbers out of, nowhere. As I'm telling you the story, I know I cannot go deeper. I cannot tell you more, guys. Oui, oui. Okay, tout à l'heure. Guys, I have to go. My mom just called. But yeah, I cannot tell you more than that. All I can tell you is that the case is currently pending, and I'm really annoyed because it's one thing among many things that have been happening, and I've been trying to stay, not that I've been trying to stay quiet, because I'm still going to share that with you guys, but for now, I just feel like I was waiting for things. Like, I just want to see the light at the end of the tunnel before I can sit down and tell you guys, this happened, that happened, that happened. But it's major things, okay? Major things. And I'm just annoyed. Like, I'm a strong woman. Don't get me wrong. I'm a strong woman. My confidence level is right there. But when it comes to certain things, sometimes I'm like, come on, huh? Like, just let people do their own thing, Like, I do understand when Cameroonians, talk about, I can't go to Cameroon and do business there because, how would you? You have to be on another level of being strong, like strong at every level, right? Because everybody is going to try to take from you. And it doesn't matter if you following the law, you following this, you following that. If people want to make your business go down, they will still try to make it go down, okay? Some of the people who are lawmakers are the first people who will actually do some shitty things. Anyway, that's what I wanted to say. It's really a struggle. And I know I'm ranting, but guys, if you're a beautiful woman, I don't know about men. I'm not a man. I can't talk on behalf of men. But if you're a beautiful young woman doing business in Cameroon, wow, wear your seatbelt because it's not going to be easy. Seriously. Anyway, I got to go. Do this.